I know I'm going to repeat myself a few times because I'm old as dirt. But I want to share some information with you. The Jackson family from Asheville, North Carolina, which is my ancestors, my great-grandparents, or my grandparents, they had the most kids in the service at one time, according to the Asheville newspaper. And I'm going to share that story with you right now, so stay with me. I appreciate you watching the video. Check out the links below and check out and make comments below. And if you have any questions, ask questions below. So let's go check out my story about my 6 uncles that was in the armed services at the same time. Thanks for watching. Here we go. Hey, good morning everybody. Today is Veterans Day. And we're celebrating veterans. Good job, veterans. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit with you guys about my journey and everything. And nope, I was never in the service. By the time I was old enough, I went to recruiting office and I said, hey, I'm ready to sign up, ready to go. And he says, no, we're not taking nobody. Everybody's coming home. That was the Vietnam War. Everybody was coming home from that. So I don't want to say I missed out, because I didn't miss out. It was a terrible thing to go through. But I was willing to do it, but it just wasn't my time. But my whole family, my dad was in the Air Force, and you know, he's no longer with us, but he was in the Air Force. And hold on a second, let's see. He had 5 brothers and 1 adopted brother, and they were all in the service at the same time. And there was Tom Earl, there was George, there was Albert, there was Raymond, which was my dad, Raymond Paul, Woodrow, William, and T. Miller. Now T. Miller, I'm not really sure about him, because a lot of these guys were gone before I was old enough. When I got up and got around, these guys were already doing their own thing and gone and whatever. But anyway, they had a little write-up in the newspaper here. It's pretty neat. Has all their pictures and stuff. And you can't really see that one because it's kind of faded out, but that's my granddad and grandmother, which is the parents of all the kids. So that's pretty cool. Pretty good. It says 6 sons in armed forces. They served in all I don't know, I can't read that, but it says they served in all. Parents of 11. Of 11? I didn't know there was 11. Mr. and Mrs. John W. Jackson of 139 Park Avenue. That was in Asheville, North Carolina. That's Asheville, Asheville, North Carolina. Have 6 sons in the armed forces, 2 in the infantry, 2 in the army, 2 in the Army Air Forces, and 2 in the Navy. They are scattered from Fort Bragg to France and Alaska. The 6 are Colonel William C. Jackson, 29, member of the Air Force, who has been in service 7 years and is now in Alaska. PFC, Raymond P., that's Raymond Paul Jackson, 26, also in the Air Force, who has been in service 2.5 years and overseas a year. He is now in France. Overseas 2 years, PFC, Woodrow Wilson Jackson, 25, infantry, who has been overseas 2 of his 3 years and is now in France. He participated in the African, Sicilian, and Italian campaign before being transferred to France. Sergeant George L. Jackson, 23 infantry, who entered service 5 years ago and in the fighting in Guadalcanal, I don't know how you say that, Caledonia, and elsewhere in the Pacific. He was returned to this country about a year ago and was treated at Moore General Hospital for malaria. He is now stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Thomas Earl, Seaman First Class, 19, who joined the Navy nearly a year ago and now is at Norfolk. That's Norfolk, Virginia. That's up by Hampton, Virginia. Yeah. He spent Christmas at home after participating in the Normandy invasion last summer. Wow, I had an uncle that was in the Normandy invasion. Albert, apprentice seaman, 18, who left here about 3 months ago and is now in training at Bainbridge, Maryland. Son-in-law in service. In addition, the Jacksons have son-in-law in the service. Oh, that's where T. Miller came in. I can't even pronounce his name. Talmadge. Miller, serviceman first class, 19, who has been in service a year and a half and is in Australia. So he's in Australia. Man, they're scattered out all over the place. That's cool. A seventh son, Jimmy, 15, proudly says, "I'll be next." In addition, their 7 sons, Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, have 4 daughters. The children's ages range from 29 to 9. Mr. and Mrs. J. Baxter Davis of Murphy, with a total of 7, are believed to hold the Western North Carolina record for the number of sons in service, and so far is known, Mr. and Mrs. Jackson are the runner-ups. Now, I don't know if Jimmy Jackson, I don't know if he ever went into the service or not. But if he did, that means we had more than anybody. Let's see. Mr. Jackson is a painter at the Woodford plant. This is kind of hard to read because this is old and it's kind of faded out. It ain't that I can't read, it's that I'm having a hard time seeing. So let me start that over. Let's see. Mr. Jackson is a painter at the Woodford plant of the Morgan Manufacturing Company, and Mr. Jackson's is employed at night, and Mrs. Jackson is employed at night in the shipping department of the Asheville Baking Company. Would rather work. I don't know what that means. The boys don't want me to work, she said yesterday in an interview, but I had rather work. It keeps me from worrying. So far, however, none of the sons has been wounded. Despite her job and her household duties, Mrs. Jackson finds time to write each of her 6 sons 2 or 3 times a week. Their letters, however, are sometimes a long time in arriving. But she smiled when she told how an orchid order for her by Woodrow while he was on the ANZO beachhead, arrived at the Jackson's home on Mother's Day. She and Mr. Jackson are both natives of Asheville, and she remarked that they both attend the same school the six sons did, Park Avenue, now Queen Carson School, Queen Carson High School, Queen Carson School. So there they are. We had 6 in there at one time, maybe 7. I gotta check on Jimmy. I don't know if that's the case. Then we hold the world record for having, or record in the United States for having the most people in service at one time. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let me see if there's anything else here I can share with you. And if there's any of you old geezers out there left, that's what he looked like, Raymond Paul Jackson. If you're watching this video and you're wondering, and if you're from around Asheville, North Carolina, then I'll show you a couple other things real quick. So let's go look at something else. Now this is the wall of Jacksons. That's me and my wife about 40 years ago. And that's my wife's mom and dad. Now that's Chester White, and he served in the Navy. Then you come over here, and that's my mom and dad. That's Nancy Jackson and Raymond Paul Jackson. And then here's a letter that we received from President Lyndon Johnson, and that's pretty cool, in memory of Raymond Paul Jackson, because he passed away at an early age. So that was pretty cool that they would take the time to send us that letter. So I really want to give a thumbs up to all the veterans out there and thank you for your service. Just wanted to share that little bit of information with you. My oldest brother Tom, he served in the Army, so he was the only one of us 5 kids that was in a service. There was 5 of us, and he was the one that did get in. But thanks for watching. We're getting old. We need to share this information. And if you guys have any questions or comments, put them down below the video.